Well, thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for holding today's hearing. Um, Look, I fear a pattern is emerging here. Regardless of the facts or data, Democrats are going to use every opportunity to justify their priorities. Whatever's in the news, whatever fears people have, they're going to exploit it to justify advancing an extreme progressive agenda. Simply repackaging old, outdated policy failures with the wrappings of whatever else is in the news this week and using that to sell the American people on the idea that this time it's different. Ask yourself, for example, why it is that the Biden plan signed into law last week that congressional Democrats landed on $350 billion in state and local aid when states only have a shortfall of $1.75 billion right now. Well, that's like your friend needing $2 and you say, no problem, here's 350 bucks. Will that cover it? It's the reality is the Democrats are stuck in their thinking no matter what the data actually tells us. Trust me, that massive spending bill is just the start. And the same thing is going to happen with the infrastructure bill and climate change disclosures as well. Look, I fear the same thing is happening today with this GameStop hearing. Democrats are using GameStop to justify more regulations, greater restrictions, and put more costs into businesses and everyday investors. They will say that this technology is the new scary thing and that it's dangerous. But let's be honest, none of these ideas are new, regardless of the fact that what information may be gleaned from conducting oversight or an investigation. Democrats have already come up with the same old tired ideas: more taxes, more disclosure, more regulation, more limitation, more fees, more of government bureaucrats telling Americans how and what they should be able to invest in. But these ideas come with a track record. We know their agenda creates perverse incentives, bad policy outcomes, and rampant inequality that they then can seize on politically to say they're going to fix inequality. Their policies only make things worse, though, and enhance inequality. To repeat my point I made at last month's hearing, because the Democrats' progressive policies, it's easier for most Americans to buy a lottery ticket than it is to invest in the next Google. Because of the regulatory structure, we have the accredited investor definition, which in the DC spin on regulation, it ensures that only the rich get to invest in things that make you rich. That's backwards and wrong. Let's remove these hurdles and move forward. Let's find a way to work together to harness the power of financial innovation that benefits everyday Americans. Instead of clamping down on innovation and shutting the American people out of opportunities, let's stand with the American people who want a better life. And on a final note, I want to thank the chair for laying out her approach to holding hearings. And I would ask unanimous consent to submit for the record the letter exchange that we've had over the last week. Look, the folks have been vaccinated. As an institution, Congress has had opportunities to be vaccinated. We've had hybrid hearings before the vaccine was even available. And so I'm asking, Madam Chair, if we could return to those practices that we had last Congress so that we can actually have both sides represented and we can have more productive, better hearings when we have a hybrid model or in person. And look, I think that's commensurate with almost every committee member being vaccinated. So with that, I yield back and look forward to hearing.